Mojang desperately wants to change creepers, but they can't. Wanna know why? It's because of fear. They fear that changing them in any way will bring drastic consequences on the game and its community. It's certain that Mojang really wants to change the creeper. In everything that they put it in, they make it look different. This is seen in spin-off Minecraft games, Minecraft merch, and Minecraft movies. The only exception is Minecraft itself. You know, the game where it originated over 16 years ago. Actually, the 16 years ago thing is actually a hint towards why they can't change it. It was added in the first year of the game's existence, and like most other things added back then, Mojang hasn't changed it much at all. This is especially true with our green friend because it's so iconic. Unlike other things added to the game, like grass, trees, pigs, zombies, etc., the creeper is completely original, and furthermore, it has a unique and iconic face. This face can be seen in everything to do with the game. The logo, the icon, even all of Minecraft's social media accounts have this thing as their profile picture. But you can notice that the icon of the creeper in, for example, the Minecraft launcher, largely differs from the default texture we can see in-game. There are lots of specific differences that we can point out, but it's mainly visible in the white spots. Because while this texture has absolutely no white spots, just green stuff, this texture is filled with them all over its body. And do you know why that is? It's transparent space in the texture file. I'm serious. Allegedly, when Notch was designing the creeper's texture back in late 2009, he literally took the then texture for oak leaves, which looked like this by the way, then drew a creepy little face on it. This means that the transparent space that you can see in the leaves texture is the source of the white stuff you can see on the modern creeper texture. This was probably entirely because the textures were originally stored as JPEGs, because if they didn't, it'd either be transparent spots in the creeper or just black. It'd look pretty different with either of those options. This texture was made in 2009, and it would go unchanged for years. Even in the 1.14 texture update, which retextured all but like 3 things, the texture of the creeper wasn't changed. Even though this was the largest and most reasonable opportunity that Mojang had. They changed fan favorite OG textures like diamonds, planks, lava, but left the creeper. This is especially shocking because of Minecraft Alpha. If you take a look at this alpha footage, it's obvious that the creeper is supposed to blend in with the grass and leaves, because they're the same color. But just a few updates later, the foliage color darkened, but the creeper's color didn't. The creeper's color didn't change in alpha, beta, full release, 1.14. The creeper's texture has been a callback to the original foliage texture for 16 years. That's quite some unintentional nostalgia on the part of the developers. And it's not just the texture. Even the way the creeper works hasn't changed in over a decade. Literally, the only thing that it's known for is sneaking up on players with its ambient silence, then exploding. That's all. Now, yes, there are like 2 trivial extra things about it, like you're able to light it with flint and steel and make it explode another way, or you can strike it with lightning and turn it into a charge creeper, but those are 2 super niche features. Other than that trivia, the creeper hasn't changed a bit. And this is exactly why they can't change it now. The Minecraft community has been used to the creepers for so long that if they changed one tiny thing about it, the community would riot. Probably. Okay, that's kind of a worst case scenario, but that's probably how Mojang actually thinks. Because of how simple the creeper seems, changing one thing about it would make it drastically different, which would make Minecraft a totally different game because of how it's already set up. This logic can go as far as to claim that modern Minecraft would reject creepers, which I honestly kind of agree with. The way that modern Mojang handles decisions is honestly quite inefficient, and it's the reason why the creeper wouldn't be added today. I also made an entire video about that topic, so you can watch it on the top right. It's partly Microsoft's fault. Even in Mojang's official handbook, which is the rules for designing mobs, which in a way forbids the creeper from being added, guess what the cover of the frickin' book is? That's right, the creeper, the new design of it. And how do we know that the book basically says no to how creepers work? Because it's kind of literally public. Mojang is Swedish, and a law in Sweden says that every book must be available in their library, or something like that. Anyway, away from the Mojang handbook, and back to the case of the creepers, despite what I've previously stated, there might be a way that creepers can actually be changed soon. And I have a theory that might be a shocker. You know how this video is all about how Mojang will never change creepers? Well, they might. And that's why the asterisk is on the title. And yes, they are still terrified of the concept, but listen to this. Ever since game drops pretty much replaced major updates in 2023, Mojang has slowly been changing the style of Minecraft. As Nickname Hidden puts it, this all quietly started with the Bats and Pots drop, which was released on December 5, 2023. This drop changed the model and texture of the bat, a mob that had been in the game for over a decade up to that point. But that's a single minor mob that doesn't even drop anything. Literally, they changed the most useless mob. However, the next drop is far more important, because it changed wolves. Wolves have been a core part of Minecraft's culture culture ever since the Stampy's Lovely World days, even appearing in a Minecraft movie. Players loved their pets, and especially their wolves, or dogs I guess, but ever since they were added, they only came in one form, a white grayish wolf that spawns in cold biomes, such as the taiga. But in the Armored Paws drop released in April of 2024, Mojang gave players 8 brand new wolf variants. Now of course none of these variants are as iconic as the OG wolf, but they're still pretty fun to have. Plus in a later update they also added new wolf sounds, which some of them sound like they're in pain, but still nice to have. The next drop that changed mobs was substantial. It was the 1.21.5 Spring to Life drop, which released a little over a year ago. Now the reason why this drop is so significant in this context is because it changed the textures for pigs, cows, and chickens. Technically the sheep too. Of course the classic textures were still in the temperate biomes, but unlike before, there were now warm and cold variants for all of them. Along with the new textures of pigs, cows, and chickens, they also overhauled all spawn eggs, and added leaf litter, wildflowers, bushes. Sheesh man, this update really changed the style of Minecraft. The next drop that changed stuff was the Mounts of Mayhem drop, which only changed like 2 things. It made it so that drowns could now ride Nautilus, and that zombies could now hold spears, which means that it changed classic mobs, like the zombie and the drowned. But the drop that has made the most progress in changing Minecraft style, by far, is 26.1, Tiny Takeover. This drop changed all baby textures. Every single baby you can think of was changed. Most of the community agrees that the new textures and models are cute, and I even made a video about it on the top right. And with all this build-up, they might actually have enough courage to slightly change the creeper. Keyword slightly. Mojang's definitely not going to remove the creeper or drastically change it. They're probably just going to change it a little bit. Maybe that's changing the texture or adding variants or whatever it is. They're most likely going to change creepers by the end of the year. And if they don't, I will make Oit wear a bikini. You heard it here first. I really don't want to do that. Back to the creeper thing, they will not change it before changing at least a bit more of the surrounding mobs. For example, variants of the zombie. Oh wait, they already did that with the husk and drowned. Well, they'll likely do the same with the skeleton. Oh right, they made the stray, bogged, and parsed. So yeah, since the creeper is kind of the oddball in terms of Minecraft mobs, it might actually be changed this year. And it's pretty likely too. Zombies have variants, skeletons have variants, pigs, cows, and chickens have variants, even the freaking camel has a variant, the spider has a variant. The only classic Minecraft mob left is the creeper. And I guess the Enderman. But if Mojang ever does an end update, they'll probably make Enderman variants anyways, so you know. We know that Mojang is really interested in mob variants right now, and since the creeper is basically the perfect mob for new variants due to its flaws and opportunities, it could really work. I mean, it's not very fitting to find a bright green moss monster to spawn in the desert, so maybe they'll give it a desert variant and make it extra sandy and stuff, and maybe a snowy variant for colder biomes. So yeah, that's what I think. The creeper will get more variants because it's begging for some. And thanks for watching the CYT Minecraft video, Matthew11, and until next time, undefeatable army.